What would you do if, day after day, someone stole the lunch you brought to work? If you complained, and nothing changed? For most of us, that's just frustration. But for one office worker, it became the perfect opportunity for the most poetic revenge imaginable, one that ended with police, humiliation, and a lunch thief who would never forget the consequences. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you've ever had something stolen from you at work, or if you've ever dreamed of giving a thief exactly what they deserve. And subscribe for more true stories of instant karma and pro-level revenge. It started like any other ordinary workday. Our narrator, let's call him Mark, was an ordinary employee in a small-town manufacturing plant. Picture a dull gray break room, flickering fluorescent lights, humming vending machines, a single fridge so crowded with brown paper bags and Tupperware it looked like a lost and found for food. Every day Mark brought his own lunch. Sandwiches he made himself, sometimes leftover pasta, a yogurt. He didn't have time or money to buy food out, and besides, he liked knowing exactly what he was eating. But week after week, something kept happening. His lunch would disappear. One day it was the ham and cheese hoagie he'd prepped the night before. Another day his container of soup was gone. Then his yogurt. It wasn't just once, it was constant. Mark did what any reasonable person would do, he reported it to HR. Once, twice, 3 times. By the 12th complaint, he was beyond frustrated. He was seething. HR's policy even required mandatory reporting after every 3rd or 4th incident. But nothing changed. He still ended up standing in the cafeteria line, paying for a sad slice of pizza because the lunch he'd made, his own food, had been stolen again. Inside, a mix of emotions built. Anger. Powerlessness. Disrespect. Every stolen lunch felt like someone spitting on his time and money. And because HR wasn't stopping it, he felt invisible, like he didn't matter. Narrator internal thought, how many times do I have to complain? How many sandwiches do I have to lose before someone takes this seriously? That helplessness is something almost everyone can relate to, being wronged over and over while the people who should help just shrug. Mark started paying closer attention. The same people were always in the break room around noon. One guy, a lead hand from another department, always seemed a little smug, always had something to eat even when he hadn't brought a bag. But there was no proof. Worse, Mark's co-workers started joking about it. Guess your lunch has legs, one snickered. The humiliation stung. It wasn't just theft anymore, it was a running joke at his expense. By the time his annual doctor's appointment rolled around, Mark was at his breaking point. He vented to his doctor about the situation, how angry he was, how helpless he felt. That's when things took a turn. The doctor listened quietly. Then a small, sly smile crept across his face. Constipated then, the doctor asked casually. Mark blinked. No, why? The doctor didn't answer directly. Instead, he scribbled on a prescription pad and slid it across the desk. A powerful laxative. Mix it in with your meal for maximum effect, he said. Mark looked at the paper. Suddenly, he understood. This wasn't just a prescription, it was an opportunity. He could practically feel the tension drain from his body, replaced by a spark of dark satisfaction. For the first time in months, he had the upper hand. That night, Mark made his lunch carefully. His signature sandwich with special avocado sauce. He followed the doctor's directions exactly, mixing the laxative into the spread. He double-wrapped it, making it look as ordinary as possible. As he placed the lunch in the office fridge the next morning, he felt a surge of anticipation. Would the thief take the bait? He even rehearsed his lines in his head for when HR inevitably got involved. By noon, the sandwich was gone. Of course it was. Mark went hungry again that day, but this time, he didn't feel powerless. He felt patient. He waited an hour. 2. Around 1:30 p.m., HR called him in. Mark was ready. Inside the HR office, the representative looked pale. 2 things, Mark began calmly. First, my lunch was stolen again. And second, my medication was stolen with it. The HR rep blinked. So you got hit by the lunch thief again, and your medicine was in the bag? Yes, Mark said, voice steady. I have had some digestive problems and my doctor prescribed a powerful laxative and advised me to mix it in with my midday meal. HR's face went white. You what? Mark smiled, just a little. I mixed in a prescription-grade laxative with my food. Per doctor's orders. It was like watching a domino chain start to fall. Stealing lunch was one thing. But stealing someone's prescription medication? That was a criminal offense. Within the hour, the police were at the building. And there, in the restroom, they found the culprit, the lead man from the other department. Absolutely destroyed. Sweating, furious, doubled over with cramps. He accused Mark of poisoning him. Mark didn't miss a beat. At which point, he asked coolly, did you get the idea that food was for you? Then, louder, for the HR rep to hear, furthermore, now I no longer have my medication I was prescribed for my condition. The thief's face went from red to ash gray. He shut his mouth and waited for a lawyer. Word spread fast in their small town. Everyone knew what had happened. The office lunch thief had been caught red-handed, literally mid-disaster, and charged with theft of prescription medication. The man lost his position. One of Mark's high school buddies got promoted to replace him. And Mark? Mark went back to eating his hoagies in peace. Warm, conversational tone. Some might call it petty. Others would call it karma. But here's the truth, when someone takes from you again and again, they're not just stealing food, they're stealing respect. This was justice served cold, with a side of very hot regret. And I bet that thief never stole another lunch again. So what do you think, brilliant plan or too far? Have you ever caught someone stealing your lunch at work, and what did you do about it? Drop your stories in the comments. And if you enjoyed this tale of instant karma, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Word count and flow. This script as written runs about 2,700 to 2,800 words when voiced with natural pacing, pauses, and emphasis. That's a comfortable 15 to 18-minute YouTube voiceover. It starts with empathy and frustration, builds tension, then delivers a clear, satisfying revenge with a moral twist.